Hey, everybody. Halftime in Sacktown, 61-49. The Kings, no Malik Monk because of illness. You know about no Sabonis, no Damian Lillard for Milwaukee. Outstanding first half for Sacramento. And, of course, all the talks on Keon Ellis starting for Malik Monk and just looked phenomenal on the floor, Jerry.
Oh, yeah. When hasn't he almost? I think, this team has such a much better record when he starts. It's just remarkable the difference. And you can see why. I mean, even when he's not making shots, which he clearly is tonight, but he impacts the game. And, this lead is really because of the defense and points leading, really creating easy opportunities for the offense. I just think it's a remarkable defensive effort leading to some easy offense.
Jerry, is this the most balanced and well-spaced defense and offensive performance that you've seen in the first half from the Kings this season?
I kind of think it is. The Bucks, no question, Mr. Lillard. I mean, just for spacing purposes, no. But still, I think defensively they're making it. The Bucks have had to work to get any kind of good, clean shots, and if they can continue this, I'm not sure the Bucks can get 100 points. It's going to be tough for them to get 100, but we've been disappointed many times before when the second halves don't look like the first halves.
Yeah, well, it was just the other game against the Bulls where the Kings had a nice lead at the half, and then like that, it was gone. I think three-point shooting in the second half is going to be real key. Both teams really did not make their threes. 4-15 for Milwaukee and Sacramento, 4 of 20. So keep your eye on that statistic.
I think the attempts, Jerry, is the most important thing there with Milwaukee at 15 because the Kings, I thought, did a really good job of running them off the three-point line.
Yeah, I did too. And I mean, and really other than Lopez, you didn't really see any comfortable ones. And of course, at 7-1, it's pretty hard to keep him from getting a look out there. But and to the other side of it is the Kings really had a lot of good looks out there. They just didn't make them other than Keon.
Someone said, don't forget about Bobby Portis, as suspended by the league. But Damian Lillard, who did not play in the last game, not playing tonight as well. I like the start of this game. We very often look at first quarters. The first quarter tonight for Sacramento was a really good one.
Yeah, there again, the defense was so aggressive, really putting pressure on the ball everywhere it was. Keegan Murray doing a terrific job, I thought, on Giannis, about as good as you're going to be able to do. And then, just simply Keon and then later when Laravia came in, the bench, really provides another spark defensively for the most part.
Yeah, Trey Lyles had 3 offensive rebounds within about 3 or 4 minutes when he entered the game. I think the real key here is the fact that the Kings are not full out doubling Giannis. They're doing that shadow double that you sometimes see with Luka Doncic and putting the onus on Giannis to make a play, and he only has 2 assists in the first half, Jerry.
Yeah, one of the things with him is you're not really worried about him shooting jump shots. So you really don't have to just go hard doubles on him like that. I mean, he's really looking to get the ball and get to the basket. So if you're going to, kind of get that show double, once he puts the ball on the floor, then you can go get him. And I think they're showing a lot of patience that way.
I'll tell you what is going to be the big topic of discussion all over Sacramento. If the Kings do go on and win this game,
yep,
the next game is Boston. And assuming that Malik is ready to go, and I got to believe he is, and he starts and Keon comes off the bench, there's going to be an uproar. I don't know what else we need to see this year. And if Doug is not going to make that move now, then he's not going to make it at all. I mean, now's the time you're almost forced to, by what you're watching right now, to make that move. And if you don't make that move, it would lead me to believe that it's not just Doug's decision, that it's collectively coming from ownership and the front office. Because, I mean, it's just common sense right now. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think that's a real tough issue for him or whoever will make it. I would hope it's the coach, but who for sure do you take out? I mean, because in my mind, that Keon needs to come in, but who goes out? You can only play 5.
Well, we have a
Oh,
coach.
go ahead.
We have a
Go ahead.
we have a coach and a GM here. Do you think driving Keon Ellis's monetary value down has anything to keeping him out of the starting lineup?
I don't, but I mean, you should never say never. I mean, the idea is to get your best team on the floor as much as you can, and I've thought all year long that Keon is one of those guys,
Yeah.
that helps you, gives you a better chance to win most nights.
Well, here's the issue. I don't think it's going to be Zach LaVine because I don't think that Monte McNair is going to let that happen because that's going to look real bad for him. Is if the monumental trade of the offseason, not including Luka, is trading De'Aaron Fox, and the main guy you get is Zach LaVine, and all of a sudden he's coming off the bench. That's not going to look very good. So to me, it would be Malik going back to a place where he was very good, very comfortable as being the sixth man. That to me makes the most sense. I just think if we're going to talk politics now, and Brian, you just brought up a very interesting question about, money, and I agree with Jerry. I don't think that would be the case. But I don't see them taking LaVine out of the starting lineup because I think that would be an egg on the face for the Kings of Monte McNair.
Yeah, well, I think the most logical, I said all along, and I know it's a tough decision and not one that would be popular with the player, but it's DeMar DeRozan.
Yep.
DeMar's if he could, it would be good for his career because I think he could last longer and really try to keep him fresher to play big minutes in the fourth quarter, and that's where he's at his best anyway. But that's one of those things when a player of his caliber, it's not something he wants to do, but I really think, in the long run, he might get another couple of years out of his career by doing that.
Jerry, I agree with all of that. On the back end, it's just he demands more attention, I think, than Zach LaVine does. And I think that attention sometimes is what opens up Keon Ellis for some of these looks.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt about that. I guess the thing with Keon, I don't think you want to look at it in terms of offense. What his value is, if nothing else, it's spaced on the floor and defensively. I mean, especially when Domas comes back. I mean, you've got enough guys who can score. And probably open up some opportunities for Keegan Murray, to be honest with you, which I think in the long term would be the better move still, and for that very reason. But I don't mean to want to sound like I'm blaming DeMar for anything. He's terrific. He's a terrific and productive scorer, but his age is his age, and really when he's at his best and most valuable for this team is generally in the fourth quarter. So in my mind, getting 30 minutes, but you probably want 11 of them in the fourth quarter.
Jerry, Keon played 22 minutes in that first half. So other than 2 minutes, he was on the floor the whole game. Does that concern you? And does that need to come down a little bit in the second half?
Well, it would concern me if it was, every game, but I mean, he's in great shape. He can do that. I mean, if you were playing back to back, you might worry about it tomorrow, but no, I wouldn't worry a bit about it.
So you play him, no problem, right, Ryan? Play him?
I'm playing him through. Granted, it was 4 more minutes than he played last game.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. He only played 18 minutes against the Bulls. We were so mystified by that, that Valanciunas and Keon barely played in that game. We didn't understand that, but he's playing tonight. He's starting tonight, playing very, very well. So we've talked a lot about Keon. We've talked about the defense. Jerry, what's the one other thing you're looking at here? The Kings only had 4 turnovers, and they were all by Zach LaVine. So they did a great job at taking care of the basketball. Yeah,
great job. And really, I think the Bucks play good defense. I mean, they're a solid defensive team, too. And to me, the key is force some turnovers, get out in the open court, because you don't really want to play against the Bucks 5-on-5 defense. I think they're a very solid team. So, in effect, do what you're doing. Good ball pressure. Try to force some turnovers on their end, and I guess the last thing, try not to get foul trouble. I mean, obviously Keegan and Ellis are 2 guys in particular you need on the floor if you're going to win down the stretch, and they're likely to get, they could very well get in foul trouble. That could change things.
Milwaukee is the best defensive rebounding team in the league, and the Kings had 9 offensive rebounds there in the first half. I think it's keeping Milwaukee off of their offensive boards and limiting them to 1 attempt. If you give them multiple attempts, that's going to turn into problems.
Yeah. Rhino, who wins this game?
You know, Grant, I really think the Kings win this game. The spacing, the IQ, and I know we're 0 for 6.
Yeah, we have not been good the last 2 games.
I think it's a first to 100 game. I think the Kings win this game 111 to 104.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Rhino. I mean, I think it's going to be kind of almost the first to 100. You're going to have to score more than that. But I see the Kings winning, 108, 102. Okay. I think the Bucks will, they've been a too good a team, and with Giannis and Antetokounmpo, I think they'll make a run and maybe close the gap a little.
You say too good of a team. They only have 4 more wins than Sacramento this year. So we got to keep that in mind.
And they're 15 and 18 on the road too.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess for me, it's just Giannis. I mean, he can take over a game and win any game. That's the edge they have, and that's probably the only edge, because overall talent, they're not as talented as the Kings. No,
without Lillard, they if Giannis is not scoring, obviously Lopez is scoring, but I mean, let's face it. When the Kings lost to the Bucks earlier in the year, we were talking a lot about Lillard. All right, so I'm with you guys. I think the scoring will come down a little bit, but I like the Kings in this game 114 to 104. So there's no way in the world we can go 0-9 in 3 straight games, is it?
Not possible.
No chance.
Not as smart as we all are. Gee
Let me ask you guys really quick. Does it concern you that the Bucks' runs came with Giannis on the bench, or is that a good thing to you going into the second half?
I just don't think you can make any sense of it, period. I mean, it happened, but I don't think you want to count on that.
Yeah.
How's that? I mean, or the Bucks. It did happen, but I think obviously the Bucks are a much better team with Giannis on the floor, as proven, for years now. So,
oh boy, yeah, no question about that, guys. Thank you very much, Jerry. We'll talk to you at halftime of the Celtics game. Rhino, we'll talk to you in about an hour, buddy.
Can't wait,
boys. Bring it home now. I'm counting on you. You've been letting me down, so bring it home.
Enjoy the second half, everybody. Your phone call and more on the post game show. Bye bye.